Yep.
Just how have you seen him progress in the last 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, just getting more comfortable. I mean, I think every bit of experience you get, is helpful. Some of the fundamentals become easier, just calling the plays and getting out of the huddle, and you just have more bandwidth for everything else that comes with playing the position. So I just think as he gets more and more experience, he'll get better and better.
Joe, how do you sift through their pass defense numbers? How do you decide what was teams in catch-up mode, what was real?
Yeah, I think, you certainly are always mindful of the statistics. But to your point, teams are falling behind, and it's forced them to throw the football more. And, defensively, you've got two opponents at that point. If you're up, you got the team you're playing, but also the clock. And so sometimes you may play a little softer. So I think a lot of those statistics are, a factor of the game script. So they're, as you watch them, you don't feel like you're watching a team that's incompetent against the pass by any stretch. So it's, obviously their run numbers speak for themselves, but when you watch the film, you don't feel it like you're watching a team that's poor against the pass. So, hopefully we can be successful in both phases, but it's going to be a battle for sure.
They used to be a heavy blitz team with Wink when he was their D coordinator. Do they blitz not quite as often now?
Yeah, I'd probably say not as often. I mean, they still got, the challenging pressures in there, and offensively, you've seen something once, you got to be prepared for it. So you still have to be, super focused on your protection plan and be ready for everything that you've seen. It just may not be coming as often, but you got to be sound when they do decide to do it.
As you played Troy and Devon a little bit more the last few weeks with Josh out, have you noticed defenses acknowledging their speed? And how much do you have to actually hit a couple of deep shots before defenses will really sort of loosen up?
Yeah, I think, defensively, I think when you talk to DBs, like they know right away who can run. They can feel that speed coming off the ball. And so, whenever you got guys that can run, it can soften the defense up a little bit. And, it certainly helps to get those throws downfield. And, you don't always complete them, but, when they're close, like there were a couple we could have hit that we didn't. But a little bit like we talked about the blitz, when they know that, it's in your arsenal, they've got to respect it. So you definitely feel that.
The tight ends were really involved in the passing game last week. How important is it to keep them involved moving forward?
Yeah, I think offensively you always want a defense to respect everyone you've got. And, so I think that's helpful. They've got to pay attention to those guys. I can't say that it was I don't know if any of us had, on our bingo card that they were going to have that kind of day. But, that's part of being a good offense is taking what's there and reading the defense and throwing it who's open. And, every game script's different the way the games go. And, Cortland the week before didn't have any catches, and he had a big game on. And, it's not necessarily a conscious thing like, oh, we got to get Cortland the ball. I mean, I think we're always trying to get those guys the ball, and sometimes the defense makes you do something different. So, I think the good news is that, the quarterback's able to do that and not just always throw to the first in the progression. He's able to get through and get to the guy who's, the defense is telling us to throw to. So, I think that's the way a good offense is supposed to run.
Julian McLaughlin has been so good and somewhat of a limited role. Can he continue to just do more, especially when you guys get to red zone?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a guy that, I think, he's probably not a guy you want carrying the ball 25 times just because he's not a big guy. And so we're always mindful of that. But, as you look at the number of hits he takes in a game, he's certainly sturdy enough to take more. So, yeah, I think when you see the production he has, getting him the ball is always something that we're mindful of.
Does he surprise you sometimes? Does he surprise you sometimes to get into the pylon? Because it seems like
not anymore.
Every time.
Yeah, not anymore. But he's got that that special ability to make a play, and so when he's in space and it looks like someone's got an angle, you're very hopeful that something good's going to happen, and he's done that repeatedly.
It feels like over the years they've been one of the more aggressive teams on
You mean offensively, they go for it more? Yeah, I think when you're facing a team like this that has got the ability to score points, I think obviously you're watching the way the game's going, but it's a better question for Sean, but I'm sure in his mind, those decisions on fourth down will be something he's very mindful of.